On a set already buzzing with tension and whispers, chaos suddenly erupted when Rasheeda and Sierra's on-set argument turned into something no one saw coming. Cameras kept rolling, assistants froze, and producers scrambled as voices clashed in a storm of emotion that had everyone in shock. Insiders claim what started as a simple disagreement spiraled into a heated exchange, with years of buried resentment finally boiling over for everyone to witness. People who were there say the atmosphere felt electric, almost dangerous. And just when it seemed the room couldn't take any more, Kevin Hart, who had been nearby filming his own segment, reportedly stepped in, visibly stunned by the energy in the air. Moments later, Katt Williams, never one to stay quiet, allegedly made a remark that instantly shifted the entire mood again. Now, social media is exploding with clips, fan reactions, and wild theories about what really happened between these two powerhouses, and why Kevin Hart and Katt Williams ended up right in the middle of it all. Emotions ran high, words were exchanged, and the internet can't stop talking about it. This is more than a simple misunderstanding. It's a full-blown moment that could change how everyone sees them moving forward. It all started during what was supposed to be a calm afternoon on set, where everyone expected another routine shoot full of laughter, light moments, and that usual dose of reality TV drama that keeps fans hooked. But this time, something in the air felt different. Rasheeda was visibly tense, her energy quieter than usual but carrying a storm underneath. Sierra, on the other hand, came in with that same confident stride, smiling but with an edge that made a few people exchange glances. It was one of those moments when you could feel the pressure building before anything even happened. As the cameras started rolling, a simple exchange between them quickly turned sharp. What began as playful banter about a missed cue shifted tone when Rasheeda's expression hardened. "You always got something slick to say," she murmured, trying to keep her composure. Sierra laughed, brushing it off, but the tone of that laugh was enough to ignite something deeper. People close to both women say they've had underlying tension for months, a mix of professional rivalry, personal misunderstandings, and past words that were never really forgotten. Someone from the crew whispered that the tension between them wasn't just about the show. Apparently, there had been an incident off-camera a few weeks earlier involving a mutual friend's event, where Rasheeda felt disrespected and Sierra thought she was being unfairly judged. That night ended without closure, and today, under the hot studio lights and constant cameras, all that unresolved energy found its way to the surface. Kevin Hart happened to be around for another shoot, chatting with a few crew members when he noticed things escalating. "Yo, what's going on over there?" He reportedly asked one of the producers, glancing toward the scene as voices began overlapping. Rasheeda's tone grew sharper. Sierra crossed her arms and took a step closer. The air was thick. The crew didn't dare intervene. They knew better than to break a moment that could turn into TV gold. By the time Kevin moved a little closer, trying to understand what exactly triggered it, Rasheeda's frustration spilled over. "You always act like you're the victim, but you're the one throwing shade," she snapped. Sierra's eyes widened. "Me? Girl, you've been holding on to old drama like it's your brand," she shot back. The entire set froze. Microphones caught every word, and a few people looked toward the director, waiting for a signal to cut the cameras, but none came. People who were there said Kevin looked completely thrown off. One minute he was laughing about a joke off camera, and the next, he was in the middle of what felt like an emotional explosion. His expression went from amused to uncomfortable in seconds. "Man, I didn't sign up for this," he reportedly muttered under his breath. But even he couldn't look away, and that's when Katt Williams, who had arrived for an unrelated interview segment, made his entrance. He walked in mid-scene, scanned the room, and immediately sensed the chaos. "Oh, this is the kind of show y'all running now?" he quipped, with that signature sarcasm that instantly drew attention. But instead of diffusing the situation, his remark only poured more fuel on the fire. Rasheeda turned sharply, glaring in Katt's direction. "This isn't a joke, Katt," she said. "Oh, I know it's not," he replied, walking closer with a grin. "But y'all sure making it look entertaining." A few people chuckled nervously, trying to break the tension, but Sierra wasn't laughing. She shook her head, muttering something under her breath that only Rasheeda could hear. Whatever she said made Rasheeda's entire posture change. She stepped forward, her voice low but firm. "Don't you ever talk about my family like that again?" At that point, the energy in the room completely shifted. Crew members began whispering. Phones started recording from the sidelines, and Kevin, sensing how quickly things were spiraling, raised his hands. "Yo, chill out, let's calm down before this gets out of hand," he said, his voice somewhere between concern and disbelief. But the words didn't land. Emotions were running too high. Sierra's response came quick. Then tell her to stop acting like she's perfect. She snapped. That single sentence hung in the air like static. Rasheeda's jaw tightened. The silence that followed was heavier than the shouting that came before it. People backstage said that was the breaking point. You could see years of tension, competition, and unspoken resentment finally reaching their limit. Kevin stepped between them, trying to diffuse the situation with humor, saying, "Come on, this ain't the Oscars. Nobody's winning an award for Best Meltdown today." But no one laughed. Katt just folded his arms and said quietly, "Sometimes you gotta let the storm pass before you can see who's standing." That line alone sent shivers through the set, partly because of how true it sounded, and partly because of how perfectly timed it was. Cameras kept rolling, and every emotion, frustration, pride, anger, exhaustion, was caught in stunning detail. What no one expected was that this outburst would go far beyond the set, reaching fans and sparking endless online debates. As the dust seemed to settle, both women stood silently, breathing heavily, glaring without saying a word. Kevin exhaled deeply, muttering to himself about how he just came to film a comedy segment and somehow ended up in the middle of a reality war zone. Katt smirked again, shaking his head slightly, and said, "Hollywood ain't got nothing on y'all." That moment became the spark for everything that followed. The interviews, the fan theories, the online battles, and the whispered rumors about who was right and who crossed the line first. But the most shocking part wasn't that they argued. It was what came next when the cameras stopped, but the drama didn't. The whole studio had gone silent, but the tension was louder than any argument. The camera lights flickered, the crew whispered, and Rasheeda just stared at Sierra like she couldn't believe what was happening. It wasn't about makeup or hair appointments anymore. This was personal. Sierra stood up straight, her eyes filled with the kind of anger that hides years of pain. She said, "You've been acting like you better than everybody since day one." The room shifted. Rasheeda didn't flinch, but her expression changed. She looked tired, not angry, just exhausted from holding it all in. She softly said, "It's not that. It's that I worked too hard to be disrespected." And right there, people could feel it. This wasn't two women arguing, it was two stories colliding. Both had fought their way through broken relationships, public judgment, and endless rumors. Now, everything they tried to keep private was spilling into the open. Sierra crossed her arms, trying to control her voice, but her words came out sharp. "You say you worked hard, but you forget I was right there helping you when nobody else was." Rasheeda's face tightened. That hit deep. The crew looked at each other, unsure if they should stop filming or keep rolling. It was raw, real, the kind of drama that doesn't need scripts. One of the producers whispered, "Keep it going," and everyone knew this moment would go viral before the day ended. Rasheeda took a deep breath, leaned forward, and said quietly, "And I appreciated that. But don't use that to tear me down now." Sierra stepped closer. "Then stop acting like I'm your problem." The air between them was heavy. Their friends tried to speak up, but both women were locked in their own emotional storms. It wasn't just about pride anymore. It was about survival. Then came the real shocker. Someone from the back yelled, "What about Kirk?" And that changed everything. Rasheeda froze, her jaw tightening, and the whole room reacted at once. Kirk's name had always been the trigger, the wound that never healed completely. The whisper started instantly. Sierra shook her head and said, "Don't bring him up. This ain't about him." But Rasheeda's silence, she finally spoke, her voice trembling just enough to show the pain she was hiding. "It's always about him somehow. No matter what I do, that shadow follows me." It was the first time she had said something like that publicly. Even the cameraman looked stunned. Sierra softened for a moment, realizing she might have gone too far, but the damage was done. Rasheeda turned away, fighting tears, while the crew pretended to fix equipment to give her a second. Nobody expected the conversation to take that turn. What was supposed to be a friendly segment about women in business turned into a deep emotional confession about betrayal, loyalty, and friendship torn apart by fame as the cameras rolled again. Sierra tried to pull the conversation back to normal. She smiled awkwardly and said, "Look, I ain't trying to fight you. I'm just tired of acting fake for the cameras." Rasheeda turned back around, her tone steady but her eyes glassy. "Then don't, be real. I can handle that." That line alone hit millions online later, becoming one of the most quoted moments on social media. Fans immediately started choosing sides. Chart Team Rasheeda and Shot Team Sierra began trending. Some said Rasheeda was finally standing up for herself. Others said Sierra had the right to call her out. And just when people thought things couldn't get messier, an unexpected name popped into the conversation online. Scrappy.old clips resurfaced, showing how Sierra once supported Scrappy through a difficult time when he was going through drama with Bambi. People started speculating whether Scrappy's situation had somehow played a role in the tension between Sierra and Rasheeda. Even though no one said it directly, the timeline made too much sense. Rasheeda had been counseling Bambi at the same time. Sierra was checking on Scrappy, and it all blurred into complicated friendships. Then, out of nowhere, a leaked audio dropped. Someone in the crew had recorded part of their off-camera argument. You could hear Sierra's voice saying, "You think I don't know the things you said about me behind my back?" And Rasheeda responding, "I said what I had to say because you stopped being honest." That audio alone reignited everything. The blogs picked it up. The fans dissected every second, and the story exploded across platforms. By the time it hit Shade Room and On-Site, even celebrities were commenting. Tammy Rivera posted a cryptic story saying, "Sometimes loyalty ends where ego begins." Everyone took it as a shot at one of them, though no names were mentioned. That post alone had the comment section filled with fire emojis and people saying, "She talking about Rasheeda and Sierra for sure." And just like that, what started as a disagreement became a full-blown cultural conversation. People began debating about loyalty, friendship, and success among women in the industry. Was it jealousy, was it pride, or was it deeper than that? Nobody knew the full story, but everyone had an opinion. Meanwhile, Sierra tried to stay quiet online, but paparazzi caught her leaving her salon looking visibly upset. She told one reporter, "I just wish people knew the truth." That single sentence fueled another round of speculation. What truth was she talking about? The next day, Rasheeda posted a photo with a caption that said, "Real ones don't have to prove nothing." She didn't tag anyone, but everyone knew it was about Sierra. It got over 500,000 likes in just a few hours. The energy online was electric. Fans analyzed every emoji, every like, every deleted comment. The producers of Love and Hip Hop knew they had gold in their hands. They began editing the upcoming episode around that scene, making it the emotional centerpiece of the season. Insiders revealed that even VH1 execs were shocked at how authentic and intense it turned out. It wasn't scripted. It was real emotion, real pain, real fallout. But behind the scenes, something unexpected happened. Kirk tried to mediate, reaching out to Sierra privately to calm things down. People close to the situation said he told her, "Y'all too strong to let the world win like this." That gesture surprised everyone, especially because Kirk usually stayed out of Rasheeda's conflicts. But maybe he finally realized the damage was getting out of control. However, the situation didn't cool down. Another clip leaked, this time showing a behind-the-scenes moment where Rasheeda said, "I just want peace, but people keep testing me." That one line got turned into memes, reaction videos, and thousands of fan edits. TikTok flooded with sound bites from their confrontation, mixed with dramatic music, and captions like, "When your best friend turns into your biggest enemy." Then, as if the universe wanted to turn the fire into an explosion, a surprise event happened at a private Atlanta party. Both women showed up. It wasn't planned. They were both invited by mutual friends, not knowing the other would be there. People said when Sierra walked in, Rasheeda was already at a table near the back, and the whole place went quiet. Phones came out instantly. Security was tense, but both women played it cool. Sierra smiled politely, nodded toward Rasheeda, and went to her corner. Rasheeda stayed calm, pretending not to notice, but everyone could feel the tension humming in the air. Halfway through the night, someone from another table started playing a remix of the leaked audio clip, and the crowd started laughing. That's when Rasheeda got up and said, "This ain't funny." The laughter stopped, but Sierra's face said it all. She was hurt and embarrassed. Before anyone could defuse it, Rasheeda walked out, and the clip of her leaving spread like wildfire online. The next morning, both women woke up to millions of notifications, new rumors, and endless interviews requested. Fans started calling it the Atlanta affair, saying it was one of the biggest reality show fallouts in recent memory. But even with all the chaos, people couldn't look away. The emotion, the authenticity, the history between them, it was too real to ignore. Deep down, both women knew this wasn't the end. Fame had turned their friendship into a battlefield, and no matter how much they tried to fix it, the world had already picked sides. The morning after the party felt heavy. Atlanta was buzzing. Not because of the music scene or a celebrity sighting, but because two women who once shared laughs, secrets, and business dreams had now become headlines. Rasheeda sat quietly in her living room, scrolling through her phone. The internet had turned her pain into entertainment. Memes of her walking out of the party were everywhere, and under every post were thousands of comments, some showing love, others dragging her name. She sighed, put the phone down, and whispered, "They don't even know half of it." Across town, Sierra was dealing with her own storm. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Friends called to check in. Bloggers called for interviews, and her own team begged her not to post anything impulsive. She kept pacing around her house, replaying the night in her head. Every time she closed her eyes, she could still hear that audio remix echoing in the room, the crowd laughing, the shame creeping in. She felt betrayed, not just by the people who filmed it, but by how quickly the world turned it into content. By noon, a rumor started spreading online that Sierra was planning to leave the show. Several blogs claimed she was done with the fake friendships and public humiliation. Others said she wanted to take a break from reality TV entirely. Her fans flooded her comments with messages like, "Stay strong, queen, and don't let them break you." Meanwhile, Rasheeda's comment section was full of people asking, "Why did you walk out?" And "Are y'all done for good?" Behind the scenes, producers were panicking. This feud had gotten bigger than they expected, and they needed to find a way to keep both women on board for the rest of the season. They reached out separately, offering to arrange a private meeting between them. No cameras, no crew, just the two of them. At first, both said no. They were too angry, too embarrassed, too tired. But eventually, curiosity and old emotions won. When they finally agreed, the location was kept secret. It was a quiet restaurant outside the city, away from paparazzi. Rasheeda arrived first, dressed simple, no glam team, no entourage. Sierra came a few minutes later, wearing dark shades even though it was indoors. For a moment, neither said a word. Just silence, tension, and the weight of everything that had been said and done. Finally, Rasheeda spoke. Her voice was soft but steady. "I didn't want it to go like this." Sierra nodded, still not looking up. "Me neither." A small pause passed before Rasheeda continued. "We've been through too much to let people laugh at us like this." Sierra took off her shades slowly, revealing tired eyes. "They've been laughing, but what they don't see is how hard it's been just to keep it together," Rasheeda sighed. "I know, but somewhere along the way we stopped trusting each other." That sentence hit Sierra hard. She looked down, fidgeting with her hands. "You're right. I started believing what people said instead of coming to you." There it was, honesty, finally breaking through the ego and anger. Rasheeda nodded, a small tear forming but quickly wiped away. "I messed up too. I said things I shouldn't have said. But you know me, I never wanted to hurt you. But you know me, I never..." The moment was fragile, emotional, almost peaceful, until one of their phones buzzed. It was a notification from a gossip blog. Someone had leaked the exact location of their meeting. Within minutes, people started showing up outside the restaurant, taking photos from afar. Once again, their attempt at privacy turned into a public circus. Both women looked at each other in disbelief. "See? This why we can't even talk," Sierra said, shaking her head. Rasheeda whispered, "We ain't safe nowhere." They got up and left quietly through the back door, trying to avoid the crowd. But a fan caught a short video of them leaving together. And within an hour, the internet was in a frenzy again. People speculated they had made peace. Some claimed they were working on a joint business deal. Others insisted it was all for publicity. But the truth was, neither of them knew what they were anymore. Friends, rivals, or just two people trying to survive fame. That night, both of them posted something similar without talking to each other. Rasheeda wrote, "Healing takes time," while Sierra wrote, "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting." Fans noticed the timing, and within minutes, screenshots of their posts went viral side by side. People started calling it the soft reconciliation. Blogs ran stories titled "Rasheeda and Sierra finally making peace" and "Love and hip-hop queens learning to heal." But deep inside, the healing wasn't complete. Forgiveness was easy to post about, but hard to live. Sierra still struggled with the feeling that Rasheeda had judged her. Rasheeda still felt that Sierra had exposed her at her weakest moment. Both were trying to move forward, but every new episode of the show dragged the past right back up. A few weeks later, they were both invited to a charity event for women entrepreneurs in Atlanta. They hadn't seen each other since that short restaurant meeting. Cameras were everywhere, and the organizers were nervous something might happen. When Sierra arrived, she immediately noticed Rasheeda across the room, talking to some of the same businesswomen she knew. People started whispering, pointing and even recording discreetly. Everyone was waiting for a moment, any spark. But instead of tension, Sierra walked up, extended her hand, and said, "Hi." Rasheeda smiled softly, shook it, and said, "Good to see you." The room exhaled. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't emotional, it was calm, almost mature. And that quiet handshake became one of the most replayed clips online that week. After the event, someone asked Rasheeda how she felt seeing Sierra again. She said, "Life's too short for grudges. We got history, and I respect that." Sierra, when asked the same question, said, "We still got love even if it's complicated." That honesty made fans emotional. Comments flooded in saying, "This is real growth, and they're showing what healing looks like." But not everyone wanted peace. Some producers pushed for more drama, hinting at old rumors, trying to reignite the tension. One even suggested bringing Bambi into the next episode to stir the energy. Both women said no. For once, they were choosing peace over ratings. And that's when something unexpected happened. A private conversation between Rasheeda and Sierra was accidentally recorded by a crew mic and leaked online. It wasn't an argument. It was actually touching. Rasheeda could be heard saying, "They keep trying to make us enemies because they're scared of what we can do together." And Sierra replied, "That's the truth. Two strong women don't need to tear each other down to shine." That clip changed everything. The narrative flipped. Instead of fans laughing or gossiping, they started supporting both women. Hashtags like Black Women Elevating and Sisterhood Strong started trending. Even big names like Cardi B and Layla Anthony reposted the clip, saying it was the kind of energy women needed to see. For the first time in months, both women were smiling online again. They began liking each other's posts, showing up at the same events without drama, and even hinting at a possible joint venture. Rasheeda teased a new project about women rebuilding, and everyone assumed Sierra was involved. Still, the world didn't forget how intense their fallout had been. Every time they appeared together, the comment sections filled with, "Are y'all really cool now?" and waiting for the next blow-up. But maybe that was the price of being in the spotlight. Every healing moment came with a reminder of the pain that came before. Through it all, Rasheeda often said in interviews that fame taught her who her real friends were. And Sierra admitted that the hardest part of being on TV wasn't the cameras. It was losing people you never thought you'd lose. As weeks turned into months, the energy between them started to genuinely shift. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. They started rebuilding quietly, no big posts, no dramatic reunions, just small moments that said, "We trying." And in a world addicted to drama, that quiet kind of growth was more powerful than any fight. The months that followed were surprisingly calm. The headlines slowed down, the gossip cooled, and for once, both Rasheeda and Sierra were able to move in silence. They weren't calling each other every day, but there was mutual respect again, something unspoken yet present in every glance when they crossed paths. Atlanta, however, never truly sleeps. People love peace, but they crave chaos even more. And soon the whispers started again. A podcast host mentioned that there was unfinished tension between the two. And within hours, social media was alive with speculation. Fans started comparing their recent outfits, captions, and even business moves, suggesting subtle shade where there was none. One post claimed Sierra copied Rasheeda's new boutique style, while another said Rasheeda was acting brand new after her latest endorsement deal. Neither woman responded publicly, but the tension began to hum again in the background. Quiet, invisible, but very real. Behind closed doors, both women felt it. Rasheeda was frustrated that no matter how hard she tried to grow, people only cared about the past. She told Kirk one night, "It's like they want me stuck in that same story. No matter what I do, they pull me back into it." Kirk just nodded, half listening, knowing how much the public weighed on her spirit. Sierra, on the other hand, found herself battling something deeper: exhaustion. "Every time I smile, they say I'm faking it. Every time I post something positive, they call it shade," she told her close friend. "I can't win." And that's when Kevin Hart unexpectedly entered the mix. During an interview on a comedy podcast, the host brought up reality TV drama, jokingly saying, "These love and hip-hop fights be wilder than my stand-up tours." Kevin laughed but added, "Those women hustle hard, though." I respect that. But man, sometimes you gotta remember, the internet don't heal people, it just replays the pain. His comment instantly went viral. Fans interpreted it as him subtly addressing Rasheeda and Sierra's feud. Even though he hadn't mentioned names, the clip spread fast. And before the day was over, Katt Williams had also spoken about it in a live session. In his usual unfiltered tone, he said, "Hollywood loves chaos, man. They'll film two queens breaking each other down and call it entertainment. But when they try to rebuild, nobody want to watch." His words hit different. People started praising him for calling out the double standards of the industry. Rasheeda reposted Katt's quote on her story with the caption, "Facts," and that small gesture lit the internet on fire again. Blogs wrote, "Rasheeda agrees with Katt," while others speculated she was shading Kevin for his earlier comments. Soon, Kevin's team clarified he wasn't talking about them specifically, but the story had already spiraled too far. Sierra, trying to stay above it all, didn't post anything. But silence, in a world addicted to noise, was treated as attitude. Headlines screamed, "Sierra refuses to respond," and fans began tagging her under Kevin's posts, begging her to speak. She finally broke her silence days later, saying on Live, "I got nothing but love for Kevin. I grew up watching his movies. But people love twisting things. We good," the calm tone surprised everyone. Even Kevin commented under a clip of her live saying, "Respect." That one word helped cool things down instantly. For the first time in a long time, social media saw grown conversation instead of chaos. Meanwhile, Katt Williams invited both Rasheeda and Sierra to a charity event he was hosting for women in entertainment. It was a bold move, but he wanted to prove something, that Black women could be powerful, passionate, and peaceful in the same space. Both women agreed to attend, not knowing the other had already confirmed. The event was elegant and low-key. No reality TV cameras, no drama, just laughter, speeches, and connection. When Rasheeda walked in, she noticed Katt greeting her warmly. Moments later, Sierra arrived, stunning in a sleek black dress. The room paused, watching their every move. Katt, with perfect comedic timing, said into the mic, "Ladies and gentlemen, the queens are in the building, and no, I'm not running interference tonight." Laughter filled the room. Breaking the tension, Rasheeda and Sierra eventually found themselves at the same table. There was no script, no producer telling them what to say, just two women who had lived through fire and were still standing. Rasheeda leaned over and said quietly, "You look good." Sierra smiled, "You too." It was short, but it carried weight, the kind that years of drama, pain, and growth can't erase. Later that evening, Katt took the stage to close the night. In his speech, he said something that stayed with everyone in the room. "Forgiveness don't make you weak. It just means you value peace more than ego. And that's the kind of power we don't celebrate enough." The audience applauded, but Rasheeda and Sierra felt those words in their bones. After the event, they took a picture together. Nothing planned, nothing forced. Just a moment, both smiling, relaxed. The picture went viral within hours. Captions read, "Real women evolve," and "From rivals to role models." Fans flooded the comments with love, saying how proud they were to see both of them move forward. But what no one knew was that the night didn't end there. As the crowd thinned out, Kevin Hart showed up quietly to support Katt's event. He greeted both women warmly, joking, "Man, y'all gave the blogs too much to talk about." They all laughed, the tension melting into something lighter. Kevin told them, "I love seeing y'all winning. Y'all stronger together, for real." It was a full circle moment. Three people who had been thrown into a whirlwind of rumors and misinterpretations, now standing together in peace. Someone nearby recorded the interaction, and when it surfaced online the next day, fans went wild again. But this time the energy was positive. Comments poured in like, "This is growth," and Black excellence on display. In the days that followed, Rasheeda announced a new campaign highlighting women entrepreneurs, and to everyone's surprise, Sierra was featured in it. They weren't pretending to be best friends again, but they were showing the world that maturity could coexist with history. It was a quiet kind of power, the kind that doesn't need yelling to be heard. And though the cameras, podcasts, and gossip blogs kept watching, both women had learned a crucial lesson. You can't control what people say, but you can control how you respond. As one insider put it, they finally realized they don't owe the world a war. They owe themselves peace. From the outside, it looked like just another storyline that came and went. But for them, it was transformation. The kind of story that doesn't make front-page headlines, but stays in people's hearts. They had turned chaos into clarity, rivalry into resilience, and pain into power. And somewhere, watching all of it unfold, Katt Williams smiled quietly, proud that his message of truth had landed. Kevin Hart, too, reposted the viral moment, writing, "When grown folks choose peace, that's the real flex." The internet, for once, agreed. For a brief moment, Atlanta didn't buzz with drama. It hummed with respect. And in that calm, both women finally breathed easy. Not as enemies, not as competitors, but as survivors who had learned how to rise again. And as all of this unfolds, fans can't stop talking. Social media is buzzing with clips, edits, and theories about what really went down behind the scenes. Was it pure coincidence that Kevin Hart and Katt Williams both stepped in at the perfect time? Or was this the universe forcing everyone to grow up? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. This story isn't about who won or who lost. It's about two women, two powerful voices, finally realizing that peace hits harder than any viral moment ever could. You can feel the shift. Even fans are saying this feels like a new chapter for everyone involved. After years of drama, shouting, and messy headlines, seeing Rasheeda and Sierra standing strong again reminds everyone watching that growth can be loud, but it can also be silent and strong. And when you've been through public chaos, finding calm in front of the world takes real courage. Still, the internet never rests. People are already asking, will this truce last? Will Rasheeda and Sierra work together again? Or is this just a moment before things explode once more? And what about Kevin and Katt? Will they collaborate after their unexpected connection in this storm? There are so many layers here, and that's exactly why fans are glued to their screens waiting for the next update. Because this isn't just gossip anymore. It's entertainment, emotion, and reality all colliding in a way that keeps everyone guessing what's next. So what do you think? Was this the beginning of peace or just the calm before another storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've been following the story from the start, and subscribe to stay locked in. Because in this world of unexpected drama, the next twist is always just around the corner.